Hello, good morning. So today we are going to talk about something very important when we are learning English. Sometimes we feel a little confused when we are learning English. First, because we don't know what kind of things I am supposed to do to learn English. Well, the title of this class is Effective English Learning. How to have a sort of effective English learning. Learning English is not only learning a thing that you want to apply for. Learning English is something that you have to understand how to learn first, right? You have to understand how to learn first and then to learn it. Okay? English is not any subject that you are learning, but it's something that you are going to apply for your daily life. So the title is The Effective English Learning. I'm going to put here some tips how to learn English effectively. Number one, if you really want to learn how to speak English, besides learning grammar rules, learning, having tips, learning things, the first thing that you have to have is to have the connection with the language. The first thing is connection. That's what I would say. Connection is the first tip. It is a tip. Like if you want to learn English, you have to have your connection with the language. It is impossible to learn how to speak a language without connection. So you have to have the connection with the language. It is the number one. Maybe you ask me, how? How is going to be the connection? Many people really don't speak English because they don't listen to English. If you want to reproduce, if you want to expose what you think, you have to listen to people speaking to reproduce what they are speaking, right? It's impossible if I want to say the word if I never listen the word. The first connection will be listening. Listening. That's the most important tip I will tell you. The most important tip if you want to speak English effectively is listening. The more you listen, the more you speak. The more you listen, the more you connect. The more you connect, the more you learn and you approach to the language. Well, we have many ways to connect ourselves. Listening some podcasts, listening vlogs, or listening to videos, TV shows, movies, and etc. And so on. But we have to understand one thing. I have my first language, and I listen to my first tongue, my mother tongue, every single day. And I'm connected to this tongue. That's why I am improving it. But I also have my second language. If my second language is coming up, I have to increase it, listening to it. Okay? Secondly, I would say, reading. Reading is very good for any language, even though for your mother tongue, if you want to speak better and better, you have to read more and more. The more you read, the more vocabulary you have, and you increase your vocabulary. That's a good tip if you want to increase your vocabulary, to speak better, to speak beautiful, to speak in a very natural way. You have to read. I don't mean just taking books, long books and thick books and reading them. I mean you can read, articles. You can read pages. I don't know, even social medias. You can read something, the language that you are learning. You are learning English. You could read some jokes in English. You could put everything what you are using on your cell phone in English, and then you are going to increase your vocabulary. If you listen, you are going to connect yourself to the language. You are going to learn how to pronounce, and you are going to understand how it sounds. And reading, you can try reproducing, exposing what you think, what you know, but you have more words to try. The more you read, the more words you acquire, right? If you acquire words, you can use them, okay? And then I would say speaking practice. Speaking practice. Practice. I would say try. Try is the key word. Try is the key word. The more you are learning, the more you have to try. Okay? If you are learning this, you have to try this. If I learn that, you have to try that. Okay? So, that's my tip. If you want to learn the language, you have to have the connection. That's all for today. Thank you.